Pindude here. Welcome back to my vintage pinball. Today I just wanted to give an overview of my restored 1978 Williams Disco Fever. Finished this restoration a few months ago, right before I started working on roller games. Did a full restoration on this game, clear-coated the Playfield. I'll show some before pictures, and then I will show you how the game looks now and everything I did. So let's get started. So not the most popular game, but I was just getting back into the hobby after a 7-year break, and I wanted to buy something cheap to work on and see how it went. So I picked this up. This was off of Craigslist. Got it pretty cheap. And it was actually in pretty good shape. I mean, it had your typical bumps and bruises on it, but the CPU was completely damaged from batteries that corroded. So I did have to get a different CPU. But other than that, it was in really good shape. The guy had another CPU to put in the game so I could test it. And everything did work at the time. So let me open this up and show you what I did. So the cabinet paint is all original. It was actually in pretty good shape. There were some previous touch-ups that I had to remove the best I could. And I did touch up the blue in some areas. And the coin door was kicked in here, and that's where you can see the creases that are still there. I got it out pretty good. The game's not really worth enough money to get another skin, a better skin for it. So I just left it. But the side art's pretty nice. A couple nicks here or there, but not too bad. I cleaned it really good with mean green. I buffed the cabinet with my 4-inch Wen buffer and Nuvis 2. And then I just waxed up the cabinet just to protect it a little bit. And it looks really good. Back glass wasn't bad. It does have some lifting. I did triple thick the back, and I did do some touch-ups on the areas that were missing a lot of paint, and I strategically put some colored LEDs behind a couple areas just so it didn't show the damage quite as much. So the Playfield, it was pretty good. Had a couple, really it just had a couple where the cupped inserts were. Had a couple areas that were worn down the wood in this bonus ladder here. But other than that, just, you know, it was really dirty. So I did a really good cleaning with Nuvis 2. Magic eraser with alcohol to get the ball swirls out. And then some touch-ups with acrylic paints. And then this is DuPont or Exalta now 2-stage automotive clear coat. It's got a real nice shine to it. There's a little bit of a learning curve getting back into doing the clear coat. It's been a while since I did one. So it's not perfect. There are some defects here or there in it, but it looks real nice. There's the inside of the coin door. All the parts went through the tumbler and then buffed on the 6-inch buffer. This game actually came with the original coin lid. They're always missing. So that was pretty nice. Inside of the cabinet was all sanded down. And what I did is I found a blue spray paint from Lowe's, I believe, that matched the blue almost perfect. So I repainted all the blue in the cabinet. I repainted the back of the head, the back of the cabinet, and used that same spray paint to do a lot of the touch-ups that were needed in the blue. The power board there was repainted in white. All the parts were taken off, clean, tumbled, polished. Soundboard has all new capacitors and header pins, and some connector pins have been replaced. Still the original speaker living back there. Cleaned up all the wiring. All the underparts of the Playfield were taken apart, tumbled, polished, cleaned. All new coil sleeves, all the usual stuff you do in any shop job that you do. All the GI bulb sockets were replaced to prevent future flaky sockets down the road. Tried to bulletproof the game best I could while keeping the cost of the restoration low. So there's the back glass. You can see had to do a bunch of touch-ups just to make it look a little better. Of course, the black was scratched around the displays, because the displays were all unstuck and hanging. But it's not bad, and it's triple thick now, so at least it'll stay looking good. So the insert panel I sanded down and repainted. Also reflowed all the solder joints on the displays. I think I had one glass display I needed to replace. I got an NOS glass to replace that with. The back of the insert panel. And then the inside of the head was repainted. The edge of the blue was all touched up. All the steel inside was all taken out and cleaned. You can see I repainted the transformer cover. I added the rectifier fuses that are recommended on these early games to prevent the rectifiers from blowing out and possibly causing a fire. The CPU board, since the original one was just way too far gone, all the traces were blown out. I just contacted K's Arcade and got a rebuilt CPU board from him. I've gotten boards from him numerous times over the years. And then the power supply, I recapped, new headers, and driver board's been bulletproofed. I replaced all these resistors that are always smoked on these driver boards. New 40-pin interconnect header pins and connector. Just did all the normal bulletproofing that you would do in these games. If you're not familiar, see Vid's bulletproofing system 3 through 7 games on Pinside. He has all the information you'll ever need if you're working on a Williams System 3 to 7 game. So that was just a quick overview of what I did to my restoration of my Williams Disco Fever. Now let's play a few games. Hey, Pin Dude here. I'm going to play some 1978 Williams roller games. Pretty simple game, as all 1978 rule sets go. On this particular game, you want to knock down all 5 drop targets, which will light the extra ball at the U-turn. Bashing this target here will bring this value up. You want to keep bashing this target in the middle of the U-turn here. That'll light your disco lights, which will light your 2x, 3x, 5x. And once you get to number 3 here, that'll light your out lanes for special. And that's pretty much about it. So most important is to drop these targets, light that extra ball, hit the U-turn to collect that extra ball, and really rank your score up as high as you can go. So let's play and see what we can do. close, close. One more drop target. Got it. Control, and I didn't get control. And it wasn't lit, because I guess I already did it. Why was it not lit? So I hope you enjoyed this video of my overview and gameplay on my 1978 Williams Disco Fever. Next time you see a Disco Fever, don't be afraid to play it. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, unless it has banana flippers. But hopefully you find one with straight flippers, and it's actually not that bad of a game. So this is Pin Dude for My Vintage Pinball. Thanks for watching. Please hit subscribe if you haven't. Check out my other videos. See you later.